Abstract class can be used as a type of template for other class. Means abstract class may or may not be contain abstract method. Okay, what is abstract method? So method that doesn't have any body is known as abstract method. So question is that why we declaring a method in a class that doesn't contain any body. Okay, so problem is that is a need of abstract class. Why we declare the abstract method means method without any body. So there is a two need of abstract class if there is no need of body or function of base class in the drive class. Okay, if you writing any, see, there is a shape class. Okay, and three drive class from the shape class: circle, triangle, rectangle. Now when we implementing the shape class, then there is a one method calculate area, but problem is that we can't write any equation for finding the area of any shape, because shape is a class, abstract class. Shape is a class, so we can't write any equation for finding the area. Like if I write the equation for finding the area of triangle, rectangle, then obviously when circle class will inherit the shape class, then we can't this body is not useful in the circle class. If I implemented area calculation for the triangle or rectangle in the shape class, problem is that. So the body of base class function is there is no need of body of base class function in the drive class. So solution is that we simply define the shape class as an abstract keyword, and we remove the body of calculate area and terminate it by semicolon and write the abstract keyword before the void calculate area function. So this method become abstract method and this class become abstract class. So abstract class may or may not be contain abstract method. Okay, abstract method that doesn't have any body is known as abstract method. So abstract class is an incomplete class. Okay, we generally consider that abstract class containing a method, and method is doesn't have any body. So abstract class considered as an incomplete class. So we can't create object of abstract class. Okay, we can't create object of abstract class. Then any class that extends abstract class must override all the abstract method of abstract class. So here class circle extending the shape class, or shape is abstract class, so circle class must override calculate area methods here. Okay, so need of abstract class is this, there is a two need of abstract class. If no, there is no need of body of function of base class into the right class, then declare that function as an abstract method, abstract function. And second requirement is overriding is compulsory. Okay, basically overriding is not compulsory, but if you want to do the overriding compulsory, then abstract class is a best for use the. Okay. So problem is that no need of a body of base class function in the drive class, so just remove the body, declare as abstract, and any class when extend the abstract class must override all the abstract method of abstract class. So suppose you have wanted to create the class shape and with subclass oval, rectangle, triangle. The problem is that you don't want to allow creations of shape. Only only particular shape makes sense, not generic one. That is a need of. So we can't create object of shape. Okay, we can create object of oval, rectangle if you declare shape as an abstract class. So this is the basic need of abstract class. Why we are using this object oriented concept abstract class. You are getting my point.
Yes.
Mm. So abstract keyword we always use before class and before methods. If method having the abstract keyword, then there is no body, no need to declare the body, just terminate by the semicolon. And one more point is that you can declare a class with the abstract keyword even if it doesn't contain any abstract method. Okay, if your class doesn't contain any abstract method, then you can declare the abstract keyword before the class. So why this situation is working in Java? So I want to protect my class. Nobody can instantiate, nobody can create object of my class, so just declare abstract keyword. Okay, so it prevent to instantiate the class. We can't create object of abstract class. Let's see one question. Suppose I am creating a class bank1. Wait, deposit. So this function doesn't have any body, then I'm declaring this abstract keyword. And if class containing the abstract method, then that time class need to be declared abstract. So abstract keyword must be there. So this is a bank1 class, which is abstract class. Extend bank1. And this customer class giving the error here is that customer class extending the bank1 class, and bank1 class is abstract class, so must implement the inherited abstract method. Okay, so concept is simply that any class extend the abstract class must override all the abstract method of abstract class. So here we didn't override the deposit method, that's why it's giving the error. So in the Eclipse, so just right click on this red and add unimplemented method. Okay, one more option is that if you don't want to override this deposit method, then in that case you need to declare customer class as an abstract class. Okay, so there's one more solution. If your class extending, so if my class is extending the abstract class and doesn't override abstract method, in that case my class is again need to be declared abstract. Now that is a multi-level inheritance. Now if I create any other class that extends the customer class, must override the deposit method. So same rule will be followed if one abstract class inherit the properties from another abstract class. Okay. So here I am implementing the deposit method. So now it doesn't give any error. So from customer class we can create the object of customer class and call the deposit method here. So concept is only that any abstract class, if any class extend the abstract class, must override all the abstract method of abstract class. Actually abstract class is a template for another class. Okay, sometime it happened then one developer creating the class and he knows the code. Okay, he implementing two methods. Suppose apps void get balance. One more method is there, get balance. So abstract class have partial implementation. Partial implementation means it may be contain a method that having the body. Okay, so suppose there is in a company there is a team leader and one developer. Okay, team leader knows the logic, but developer doesn't knows the logic in the software. Okay, so he simply creating abstract class and the logic which is means team leader have the knowledge of that logic, so he implemented all the logic here. He has implemented all the logic, and he know which logic is easily implemented by developer, so he will declare a abstract class here and tell the developer just inherit by class bank1. When developer inheriting the bank1 class, then obviously he will get all this logic implemented by team developer. Okay, team leader, and the other logic he can easily implement it. Okay, so sometime abstract class have partial implementation. Okay, it may be contain abstract method and may not be contained. It's not compulsory to at least one abstract method is there. Okay. Now problem in Java is that suppose there is one more abstract class here, bank2. This class having one more withdraw and withdraw method. Now problem is that Java doesn't support multiple inheritance, so we can't extend bank 1 as well as bank 2. Problem is that Java doesn't allow multiple inheritance. So why Java does not allow multiple inheritance? Problem is that suppose abstract class bank 1 have the same and bank 2 have the same function, get balance here and get balance also here. So problem is that there is a situation of ambiguous situation. When customer class calling the get balance function, then which get balance function will be invoked? That is a problem. That's why Java doesn't allow multiple inheritance. So how we can implement it? How can implement this type of code if we require multiple inheritance? So next concept uh, after the abstract class interface is come. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, it was clear. Can we use singleton classes for instead of multiple inheritance?
Singleton class, yeah, we can use delegation concept, right? Okay, if in case of abstract class you can't use, no, you can't create object of abstract class, so how we can use singleton? Question. Okay, problem is that we can use delegation concept. Delegation concept is if you don't want to extend your class and you want to invoke their function, so just create object of that class in your main function. Okay, suppose one more my customer class already extending the bank one class, and I want to invoke a function of a demo class. So delegation concept is that you directly create object of demo class here. So right now no demo class is there, then it will give the error. And this is a delegation concept. You can call any function of demo class using demo object. So delegation and inheritance, two concept for reusability. Okay, so instead of inheriting the property, you can directly create object of that class and call the function of that class. So right now problem is that because of multiple inheritance that doesn't support, we doesn't allow in the Java, I want to inherit bank 1 and bank 2. So solution is that there is a next concept, interfaces. Interface is an alternative of multiple inheritance in Java. Okay, interface always contain only abstract method and final variable. Okay, we can't define the body of methods in the interface. Okay, but in the abstract class contain abstract method as well as non-abstract method. But interface always contain only abstract method. Okay. So just like we declare a class using class keyword, interface is declared using interface keyword, and interface is always public. And just in the code interface bank is there int x, so by default with always variables of the interface always public, static and final. No need to write this keyword, it automatically considered as a public, static and final. And in case of method white deposit, it always means by default method is public and abstract. No need to write abstract keyword here. By default all the methods of interface is abstract. Okay, and we can't define the body of method in the interface. Okay, it will give the error never contain body in the interface. Okay, but there is a we are this is the concept of JDK 1.7. Okay, as per JDK 1.8 allow us to define the body of method in the interface also. Okay, that is a new concept. Firstly I am explaining all the JDK 1.7 concept. After that I will explain what is the different, what is a new thing comes in the JDK 1.8. Okay, so as per JDK 1.7 interface never contain body of the method. Okay, so let's see. So same program we can write using interface also. So for defining the interface, we use interface keyword, interface name bank1. No need to write abstract keyword here. By default method of interface is abstract and public. So by default method of interface is public abstract, so no need to write the public abstract keyword here. But in case of abstract, if it doesn't provide body of method, then abstract keyword must be there. Otherwise, it will give the compile time error. Now there's a two interface, bank1 and bank2, and now we can inherit both. So to inherit the properties from interface, there is a new keyword implement. Bank1 comma bank. Okay, so separated by a comma we can implement n number of interface simultaneously. Okay, now same concept is just like abstract class. If any class implement the abstract interface, must override all the abstract method of interface. So it will give the error until we don't override the deposit and withdraw method. So void deposit. If I provide body here, then again it will give the error. So why now this error is there? Okay, I've we have learned the private, protected, public and default, that is access modifier. So at that time I have explained one concept of function overriding. Is that what about access modifier when we override the function? So abstract modifier will be either the same or the stronger. Okay, so by default access modifier here public is there. Okay, by default. So at the time of overriding right now there is a default. So that's why it gives the error. Default is a weaker than public. So public function must be override with public keyword. Okay, this concept. So at the time of overriding, if base class having the public keyword before the function, then at the time of overriding we need to use only public, because no other access specifier which is stronger than public. So public function must be override with public. So in case of interface, method is by default public. That's why it's giving the error, because public here, so we are overriding with default. So at the time of overriding the methods of interface, we must write public keyword. So that is the concept of interfaces. We can implement n number of interfaces simultaneously. An interface always contain only abstract method. Now suppose two interface containing the same variable name. Okay, And variable interface is by default public, static, and final. Public means universally accessible, static means one-time memory allocation, and final means we can't change value of that variable. Now one problem is that if two interface having the same variable name, obviously there is a ambiguity problem. If we okay, so hello. Okay, so bank one and bank two both containing the same variable name. So when I accessing the this variable from the main class, customer class, main function of the customer class, then obviously it will give the error. The fields balance is ambiguous. Okay, so that is a one problem with the interface also. If name in case of method, if name of method is same, so it doesn't give any ambiguity problem because no body defined in the interface. Okay, one body is there which is containing by the customer class, so no ambiguity problem is there. But in case of variable, there is an ambiguous situation because both variable having the same, both name of variable is same in the both interface. Okay, so ambiguity problem is there. So to resolve this ambiguity problem, we have using one concept that is known as base references. This concept is known as base references in Java. So here we need to create references of interface. We can create reference of interface. We can't create object of interfaces like abstract class. So see, this is not the object of bank one. Actually, object have physical extents. So B1 is not an object of bank one class. B1 is an object of customer class. And when we invoking the when we calling this balance variable using B1 object, then doesn't it will give the doesn't give the error. So base using base references concept, we can access that variables if variable name is same. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. In similar way, bank 2 B2 equals to new customers, and when references when you invoking the calling the variable, then it will give the it will access that. So we can create a reference of base class. Okay. We can store child class member in the parent class reference. Doesn't give error. 100. Okay, bank 1 is there, bank 2. Okay. So using reference. of interface we can access the common variable. One interface can extend another interface also. Okay, suppose bank 2, I want to inherit the properties of bank 1 into bank 2, so extend keyword is used. Okay, so if class using the interface, then implement keyword is there. If class using another class, then extend keyword is there. Okay, interface, interface, in case of interface and interface, extend keyword is there. So if both are different, then implement keyword is there. If both are same, means interface, interface, extend keyword, class, class, extend keyword. But there is a class and interface, so implement keyword is there. So now bank 2 interface extending the properties of bank 1. So when any class implement only bank 2, then that class must override all the methods of bank 2 class as well as bank 1 class. Okay, because bank 1 class properties 1, bank 1 and interface properties, the deposit function already comes in the bank 2 interface because of inheritance. Okay, now any class implementing the bank 2 interface must override both methods, deposit and withdraw. Okay, so that is multi-level inheritance. So concept is that one interface can extend another interface, no problem. Now very important, what is difference between abstract class and interface? So first difference is how to inherit. So abstract class is inherit using extend keyword and interface using implement keyword. Second difference, abstract class may or may not be contain abstract method, but interface always contain only abstract method. Okay, as per JDK 1.7, okay, and below version. But as per JDK 1.8, this concept is different. So after this difference, I will explain what is the new concept of JDK 1.8. Third difference, abstract class doesn't support multiple intents. That is a need of interface. Why we are learning interface? Because of class doesn't support multiple inheritance. Okay, so interface is an alternative of multiple intents. Now fourth difference is that methods are by default access modifier is there. Okay, in class if we didn't mention any access modifier, private, protected, public, then consider as a default friendly. But in case of interface, method is by default public as well as abstract. Okay, no need to write public and abstract keyword. In case of interfaces, it will by default it will take. Fifth difference is that variables are by default default. Okay, no. So class member always by default is default having the by default default access modifier, but interface variables are by default public as well as static as well as spiral. Okay, and obviously every class must have one constructor. Okay, but interface doesn't have any constructor. So that is a six main difference between abstract class and interfaces. Is that clear?
Yes.
So this is all about interface in JDK 1.7. Okay, now what is the new concept of JDK 1.8? Actually, my Eclipse is old version, so it doesn't support JDK 1.8. So I will execute the new program in the notepad. Okay, so as per JDK 1.8 concept, interface can contain body of method. Suppose there is an interface A having two abstract methods, get city and get country. And as per JDK 1.8 new concept, we can define body of function in the interface also. But condition is that we need to write default keyword here. So in the previous version JDK till JDK 1.7, no default keyword is there in the Java. Yeah, in the switch case, okay, switch and case, and there is a default keyword. So default keyword can be used before the function. Okay, So if you're providing body of method in the interface, then you must write default keyword here. Okay. So that is a default implementation of this get address method. Now one class address implementing this a. So obviously as per concept of interface, if any class implement the interface must override all the abstract method of interface. So two abstract method is there, get city and get country. So we need to override these two methods, get city and get country in our class. No need to override the get address method because body is already there. Okay. So when we calling the get address, I'm creating the object of address class. Obviously class, we are creating the object of class, so that it doesn't give the error. We are not creating the object of interface. So using this object, when we calling the get address method, then it will call this default body, and from this body it will call the get city and get country method. So when it call the get city and get country, then obviously this method will be executed. Okay. So this is a JDK 1.8 concept in which we can provide the body of interface, body of method in the interface also. Okay, it's almost become an abstract class concept. Means abstract class also having the body of method. This is the first concept of interface in JDK 1.8. Firstly, I am executing this, and after that comes on the second concept. Right now, my by default path is set of JDK 1.7. That's why it will give the error. Let's see. Okay, because it will give the error 15 error because of by default my path is set of JDK 1.7. Yeah, that is GRE path. So it's a say it's showing the GRE path. Okay, not Java C compiler path. When I am setting the path of JDK 1.8, then this code will be easily compiled. Let's see. Now JDK 1.8 path is set. Now when I compiling this code, time. Okay, it will compile fine. Okay. Now when we executing this, okay, it will printing the cities and country. Is that clear, Krishna?
Yes, it was
Okay,
clear.
so only that is the difference. Remaining concept is as it is same as JDK 1.7. Only difference that we can provide the body of method in the interface also. Now one question is that in our mind, what happen if two interface containing the same method, okay, and both having the default body, okay. So how JDK 1.8 handle this situation? Yeah, yes. नेट बंद हो रहा है यार बार बार बंद हो गया आज तो छोड़ने पापा जाएंगे मैं तो इधर रहूंगा भी टाइम हो गया शाम को फिर मैं लेने आऊंगा 7 बजे देखता हूँ आ जाऊंगा 6:30 बजे निकलूंगा ऑफिस है ना 7 बजे तक हाँ ठीक है तुम बात कर लेती ना वहाँ की बॉम्बे की कर लो हैं कर लो अरे तुम करो ज्यादा भारी वजन पड़ेगा मेरी तो बात बोलने ना सर को कि वो मैटर डिस्कस करना था तो क्या चलो ठीक है देखता हूँ इसको लगा दो हेलो
Yes, sir.
yeah okay okay just now see this program. There is an interface A containing one default method white show and interface B containing the same method but this method is abstract right now. So in that case if class CC implemented both then obviously show method must be override here and we overriding the show method here and when we creating the object of class CC and when invoking the show function then obviously it will print at CC show. Okay, problem is that if both interface containing the same method and as per JDK 1.8 concept both having the body of method and here show and BB show is printed. So if class CC implemented both A and BB then obviously ambiguity error just like a abstract class it will give the ambiguity error. Okay, it will give the error. So in that case, okay, so new concept in JDK 1.8 is that If suppose two interface having the same method with default implementation, then in that case your class must override this method. Okay, obviously it will give the error because of ambiguity. It unable to find which body will be executed. So in that case, JDK give the concept is that we must override this method in class also with the public access modifier. Now when we invoking the CC show function, then it will invoking their own show function. So it will print at CC show. Okay. Now question is that how we can use the function of interface. Okay, because right now when we invoking the show function, then obviously it will call their own function, show function. So why we providing the body of interface? Okay, and how we can use this? So if instead of interface if there is a class, so how to, in case that is a overriding concept, so super keyword is used to access the base class member. Okay, when I using super keyword here, then again it will confused which show function is invoked, because CC class having two base interfaces A and BB. So this show function will be calling we are calling the show function from A interface or B. So again it will give the error. So again okay. So in that case, if you want to call show function of AA interface, in that case you need to write interface name also, AA dot super dot show. That is the concept of JDK 1.8. Okay. Instead of super dot show, you need to mention interface name also, AA dot super dot show. Then obviously it will invoking the show function of AA interface. Okay, AA show, then CC show. If you want to call show function of BB interface, in that case you need to mention name of interface, BB dot super dot show. Fine. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, if two interface having the same method, then we can resolve using super keyword, but you need to mention name of interface also. So that is all about JDK 1.8 concept. Okay. And if a function name is different in both interface, so no need to override. If instead of show there is a display function, so no need to override here. Okay, because only one method is there, show. So obviously it will print the a show here. And if you calling display, then it will print a display. So only problem is that if both interface having the same method name. Two similarities between abstract class and interface is that we can't create object of interface and abstract class both, and both must be inherited. Okay, until you doesn't inherit the abstract class and interface, they it's not a useful. Okay, so both must be instantiate, both can't be instantiated, and both must be inherited. Okay, so this is all about abstract class and interfaces. Any doubt?
Mm.
Inner class we already discussed. Let's start the new topic, packages. Okay. So packages means folder. This is all the packages. Default package apps. Okay.
Can I get real-time scenario for interfaces? when we go for interface and the event.
Okay. Actually, when we comparing both interface and abstract class, then which one is best? Okay, and which one is fast? So, question is that uh, if I want to override one function, so I'm writing a code. So, actually, as per JDK 1.8 concept, both is the same. Okay, because abstract class and interface both having the body of method. So if you have partial implementations, actually we till the JDK 1.7 version, in that interface never contain body of method. So obviously we can say that when we go for interface and when we go for abstract class, but in JDK 1.8 both is the same, so we can either go for interface and abstract class, both must be same. But which one is fast? Okay, so suppose uh, one show function, my requirement is that I want to override show function in my class. So I have two solutions, either I can inherit the abstract class or we can implement the interface class demo. In demos class I want to override the show function, so which is the best way, either we use interface or abstract class? That is an interview question. If I extend the abstract class, and obviously by default one default constructor is there, demos, which is automatically created by compiler before compilation. Now it will write the super keyword here. So this is the default code. If I didn't write this code, then obviously compiler will added this code before compilations. See what happened when we call the when we override the show method of abstract class. See how this program will be executed. Firstly, when main will be executed, firstly it will create the object. Okay, so when object is created, by default constructor is executed. Okay, so execution will be goes from here object to this default constructor. Okay, and from this default constructor there is a super keyword must be there. Okay, if I didn't write this default constructor, then obviously compiler will write this code, okay, internally. So execution will goes from here to super keyword, and super keyword divert the executions from this default constructor to base class default constructor. So base class is there, a is abstract class, so abstract class also having the default constructor. So obviously execution will be go here, a default constructor is also there. If I didn't write, then obviously compiler always write this code, abstract class constructor. Most class constructor. Okay. So now output will be, firstly it will create the object, then super keyword divert the execution to the abstract class default constructor. So output will be abstract class constructor. After that demo class constructor. After that it will call the show function and show will be printed. Okay, let's see in the output. Okay, so abstract class by default having their own default constructor. So obviously execution will, if I didn't mention any constructor here, okay, in our demos class as well as in abstract class, then obviously execution will be goes from default constructor to abstract class default constructor. So if I use, that's why abstract class is slow, okay, because every time when we create object of our class, then obviously if your abstract class is a base class, then obviously execution will be goes in the default constructor of abstract class. So instead of using abstract class, if I implementing interface, the interface never contain any constructor, okay, there is no constructor interface, so it will save the executions of this super keyword to the interface. Okay, so obviously no constructor in the interface, so it will save the time for executions of the constructor body, so interface is fast. You are getting my point?
Yes.
Now why spelling mistake? Minutes. So that's why interface is fast, because no default constructor in the interface, public keyword is required. And as per JDK 1.7, which one is better? So as per execution, interface is faster than abstract class. And if you have partial, if you know the partial implementation of class, so obviously it goes for abstract class concept. And if you don't know partial implementation, okay, then interface is best, because interface doesn't contain body of method as per JDK 1.7 concept. But as per JDK 1.8, interface is always better because it's fast and it's also having the body of methods like abstract class. Okay. So if you go in the advanced Java, okay, after advanced Java there is some framework. I think you heard the name Spring framework and Struts framework. Okay. So in that framework, if there is an inbuilt code, means there is a structure, we need to follow that structure, so that inbuilt code always uses interface instead of abstract class. So because interface having benefits over the abstract class, that because of multiple inheritance is allowed, okay, that is the main benefit of using the interface. So always all the big framework of Java always uses interface instead of abstract class, because interface is faster than abstract class and allow multiple inheritance. That is the two reason. Okay, Krishna. So we'll start the next topic in the tomorrow session. Okay.
Okay.
Today I will
Homework,
share. Yeah.
homework for today. Do
What? Didn't
work
understand.
for today.
Okay, work
Homework.
for today. I have shared one assignment sheets and module projects to Rupa. Okay. I will tell her to share with you. I have shared some module project which is related to OOPS concepts. So try to implement that concept. Okay. I will tell to the Rupa. He will share. She will share with you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.